Hi, I'm Ziegler. At Spruce Meadows right now I have 5 horses. I brought 2 horses to jump the Grand Prix in the bigger classes, Harold and Touchdown. Harold is an older horse with a lot of experience, whereas Touchdown is 9 years old. This is our first year doing any bigger classes. And then I have 2 horses, Valencia and VDL Grow Up Kamara, who are in like the second horse spot, a lot of speed classes, meter 45 and 50. And then I have 1 younger horse named Christine, who's new to jump the meter 40. I'm 17 years old. I've been riding since I was 4 years old, but at this level, about a year. Nobody in my family had ever ridden before. When I was 4 years old, I had a friend who went to school with me, and she rode with her parents every day, and I said, can I come one day? And I went and I started taking lessons with her, and it escalated a lot. And about 3 years ago, my dad started riding just to get a better feel for what I was doing, so it's great. Now we can go to all the shows together.
And does it criticize you a little bit when you...
No, well, we got in a little argument this morning. Not an argument, but a disagreement in his course walk about a line, and I didn't actually get to walk the course, but he came back at the end of the day and was like, actually it was 8 strides, but in the jump off I still did 7, you know, to make sure we were both right. It's funny.
Does your mom ride as well?
She doesn't. She'll ride a little bit, just like take a trail ride or a lesson, but she doesn't jump.
And you ride with pretty awesome people. Talk about your coaches.
Yeah, I have the best team. I ride with Eric Lamaze, and we have a really good group. We travel and show everywhere together, also with Tiffany Foster, so we have a really good group. I think something that's really emphasized, and you notice a lot in Spruce Meadows where there's so many classes every day, is you really want to be prepared for every class. Even if you're just going into school, you want your horse to be really prepared. You want to walk your course and really concentrate and have a plan, and try to go with your plan every time. You know, when you're going to compete, really try hard, and even if it's like you're going for a nice round, make sure that you're there on time and have everything looking nice, and everything in Spruce Meadows especially, you get to realize how important that is. A day in the life. I live with Tiffany Foster and another girl who works at our barn, and in the morning we get up, have breakfast. Tiffany's a good cook, so that's always fun, and then we will come to the barn. Here a lot of our classes are in the afternoon, so we try to fladdle all the horses in the morning, just get them a little quieter, ready to show, and then we have to show for most of the afternoon. Usually there's a class at night that at least Eric does, if not the rest, so we get to cheer everyone on. Last year, there was an opportunity during the Winter Equestrian Festival to qualify for the EY Cup Final, which took place during the World Cup Final in Leipzig, Germany. And it was a really great experience. I think 7 Americans qualified, and there was 3 days of showing. It was a really great experience. The classes were smaller, like a meter 45, but it was a good first chance to compete internationally and also to watch the World Cup Final and see all the best riders. I'm not sure yet. I'm just finishing 11th grade, so I have a little while to figure everything out. I work with a program called the Laurel Spring School, which offers all of the courses online, so I can take them from wherever I am, which makes it a lot easier to be in Europe and Florida and Calgary, everywhere. We found them a lot of different ways, actually. A couple of my best horses, Touchdown and Takeoff, were horses that Eric rode first, and so he knows them so well, and at a certain point in time he says, I think you're going to get along with this one better than I do, or I think it's ready for you now after he's been riding them. So those are always my favorites because he knows them really well, and he's always able to really help me, give me good advice, know how the course will ride. And then he had the chance to ride my horse Harold in the fall, which is also really helpful because now if I ever have a question, he knows how it'll ride, and the horse is able to give a great answer. I started riding hunters until just a couple years ago, and my trainer, since I was 8 years old up until now, I still work with her, is Cookie Beck. So as far as riding goes, she's a great role model. You know, she taught me all of my basics, and I'm so thankful for that. I think it's really important to give back to the community. I'm the co-chair of the junior board of the Equestrian Aid Foundation, and we try to plan a couple events a year. We've had used riding clothes sales, and we've had a carnival every winter, just trying to get more families and young people aware of the charity and its cause. And then I also work with Just World a lot, and I think that's a great foundation because it really focuses on the juniors and the pony kids at the shows, and it makes all the events are really fun and get everybody, like families come, and there's a horseless horse show, and even just like barbecues at the end of the day, so everybody's really a community. Definitely, especially with Just World, you know, with Just World you give them prize money that you win, so each class you're giving back from, and you you can take, I've never had the opportunity, but you can go to take trips to the projects, and everybody says that's really a powerful experience just to see how people in other parts of the world are living. In the last 6 months or so, I've been able to start doing bigger Grand Prix. There's an age limit, so until the year that you turn 18, you can't do more than a 2-star Grand Prix. So I'm turning 18 this year, and I've been able to go to 1 4-star and 3 5-star shows so far and jump the Grand Prix in bigger classes. So the next couple of years, I just want to get consistent in that type of class and start becoming competitive. Somebody just asked me this other day. The most embarrassing moment that I have had competing was in the low juniors in a show in Indiana, Traders Point, and I had a really fast horse. She was great, and I was in the jump off, and I thought that I went off course. I was so disappointed, and I pulled up and was walking out, and Tiffany was there with me, and she started screaming. It was like, "No, you have to go back. You're not done." And I hadn't gone off course, so I had to like circle and finish the rest. It was so embarrassing. How do I prepare? I try to be as calm as possible and not have too many good luck type of things, because I feel like that can backfire on you really easily. I wear my dad's watch always, which is a little bit of a good luck thing, but besides that, not so much. I try to really focus on my course and walk carefully and then watch if I have the chance. That's a hard one. Just to get over fear if you've had a bad experience with the horse, it's important to step back and spend a lot of time with the horse. When I'm having trouble with the horse, I try to ride it as much as I can by myself at home, just so I become comfortable even on the flat, and then jump little courses at home and then step it up a little bit. Make sure that you're as comfortable as possible and can build as much trust as you can. I have a really great support base. Everybody at Torrey Pines and Artisan, it's a really great team, from the top level with Eric to my parents to everybody grooming. The whole team is definitely all there for one another and really great. I didn't do the trials in Wellington this year. As I said, I have 2 horses, and the one is a little bit older. I didn't show him a lot at WEF. We were having like a little bit of a rough patch together, which we've worked through now and everything's going well, but we didn't think it was the appropriate time. And my other horse is just 9 years old, and at the time of the trials in Wellington, I had only jumped 2 or 3 Grand Prix with her, so we thought, you know, go to the shows in Europe that we were planning and let her get a bit more experience before anything like that. That would be great. I would definitely try for that. Yeah. The Pan Am is definitely a little bit of a step down from the Olympics. It's a good thing to do in preparation, and by then my younger horse, she'll have a lot more experience, so she'll be good for something like that.